Nice. And then, of course, he's got a sidekick, and that is going to be Marcus Barnett, who was played by Martin Lawrence. Like I mentioned, Martin was 30 when he did this film. He had been a stand-up legend, basically, a stand-up comedian who was very, very popular. He had his own show, Martin, like most stand-up comedians got their own show. And he'd also done House Party 1 and House Party 2. So he hadn't really kind of gotten into being a star. This was like his first role as a star in a motion picture. And what I really wanted with this was somebody who's going to play a more toned down person. He's married, he's got a wife, he's got kids, you know, he's not out there living the life at the clubs like Will might be doing or like Mike might be doing, you know. So he's got to be somebody who's a little bit more reserved. You're the guy that's going to be scared in the shootouts, you know. He's like, oh, I don't want to die, you know. He's that guy, whereas Mike's the guy's like charging head first. He's got nothing to lose, right? So you know, I kind of want somebody shorter than Mike as well. So I went with somebody who's 5'9" and who you will know as a tremendous actor. He's got a little bit of comedy in his background, so I think he can pull off the comedic role of Marcus Barnett, and that's John David Washington. We had just talked about him last episode. I think that him and Damon Wayans Jr., they play off each other really well. I think that'd be a really good team right there. That
would be a fun watch. I mean, I obviously love what I've seen from John David Washington so far. I didn't consider him for this, but I think that, you know, for your casting, he certainly fits. You know, you have a more comedic guy, you know, for your Mike, and maybe a more toned down guy for the John David Washington, for your Marcus. But I think all in all, it'll be a fun watch. I think for mine, I tried to go for a more comedic Marcus, and I tried to go for the look. And I agree with you. It was hard to find somebody that perfectly fit that age range. And so I had to go with somebody that was a little bit older. And I went with somebody, and hearing that you haven't watched a lot of horror movies, it kind of worries me that maybe you haven't seen this guy in one of the things that I saw him in that really draw me to this. Have you seen the movie Get Out?
I have not seen Get Out. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it.
All right. Have you seen Uncle Drew?
I have.
Okay. So he's in both of these, and he also has he was also in Judas and the Black Messiah, which is one of the better movies to come out in the last calendar year. And my Marcus is he's known as Lil Ray Howery, and he was in Get Out as the security guard. He's like an airport TSA officer. You know, he's wearing the outfit. He seems a little bit more timid, a little bit more scared. But he also has a comedic show out as well. And I looked for somebody that had the comedic background, and again, looking for somebody who's a little bit older, because I needed somebody that is a father of two, a married man, somebody who is not the playboy that his counterpart is.
Now, in Uncle Drew, is he the one that recruits Drew and all the guys?
I believe so. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, to be honest. I just know he was in there. I've likened him more to the character in Get Out, but he's the character wearing the glasses, has like the chin strap beard.
Okay.
Rounder fella.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Martin Lawrence looks like now. And
yeah, so honestly, I had this guy in mind, and then I watched the original Bad Boys, and I go, that's probably not going to work because Martin is much skinnier in this role than I remember. But as I continued to look, I just couldn't find somebody that fit the fatherly values and the age and body. So I just had to go with he's going to be shorter, like you mentioned, than my Mike, you know, and he is shorter than Aldous Hodge. He's a bit of a rounder fella, but he's got that comedic background, and because of his age, I think he can pull off that fatherly husband role that he would need to play, you know, compared to, you know, Aldous Hodge's Mike.
I agree, and I think that not only that, but because of his comedic timing and what I've seen him in, I do think he would play that great Marcus. Like I said, in the shootouts, Marcus is usually like crying or something. He's covering his head. You know, he doesn't want any part of it. That's right. He doesn't want any of that. So he definitely seems like that kind of guy who would be the coward guy. And you got to kind of, come on, man, let's go, Marcus.
And I recommend Get Out as well, even not as a horror guy. I mean, I recommend watching it. It was Jordan Peele, who is, you know, you'd know from the Key and Peele. And it was his first jump into the horror genre. I didn't love his next one, Us, as much, but Get Out really got some positive reviews, and it was a fun one. It was a mind pretzel, but it was a fun one, and you'll get to see, you know, this character in probably a little bit more light like I had.
All right. Well, we've got our two headliners. Let's build around these guys.